What is going on, everyone? My name is Jason, and this is the X4 smartphone made by Nuu Mobile. Smartphones today are in a period of transition. As companies like Apple and Samsung battle it out to bring you their latest offerings in their premium flagship phones, a strong movement in the budget smartphone category has gained significant strides. As the technology in this industry evolves at an incredible rate, specs and features that were once considered premium can now be offered at a considerably lower price. Now this is where the X4 comes into play. Now this is a GSM unlocked phone, so it'll only work with certain carriers, mainly AT&T and T-Mobile. So let's get this out of the way. This is not a flagship phone, so it's not meant to compete with a Galaxy S7 or an iPhone 6s. This is indeed in the budget phone category, and you shouldn't expect otherwise. You're not going to see things like a Quad HD display, a fingerprint sensor, or the ability to shoot 4K video, so do your best to manage your expectations. But what I can tell you is that for the phone's price tag, you're getting some good value. By the way, you can pick up the Nuu X4 on Amazon right now for just under $170. So let's start off with the physical design. Now there's no point in trying to go around this. The phone has a striking resemblance to a particular Samsung phone. Now even the stock wallpaper is emblematic of Samsung's TouchWiz skin. Honestly, it's basically a shameless copy in terms of physical look, which isn't really a bad thing in the sense that it looks really nice and it's designed to fit in the hand very well. It has a curved plastic, removable back cover, which sucks that it's plastic, but nice that it can be removed to swap out the battery and have access to dual LTE SIM card slots, and yes, expandable storage. The phone comes stock with 16 GB of internal memory but can be expanded up to 32 GB, so worth the plastic backing? That's for you to decide. Arguably the greatest strength that the X4 has in terms of its physical design is its zinc aluminum alloy chassis that, no joke, really makes this phone feel premium. This isn't some plastic that looks metallic, this is the real deal here. The brushed metal wraps around the entire border of the phone, giving it good weight and making it feel really nice in the hand. The power button and the volume rocker are also aluminum, and they're great, nice and tactile and responsive. The 3.5mm headphone jack and the micro USB port are on top of the phone, and you have 3 touch capacitive buttons on the phone's chin. Overall, I was kind of blown away by the X4's build quality, and despite its unabashed resemblance to another flagship phone, this could arguably be one of the best physically designed phones at this price point. Now the X4 is rocking a 5-inch 1280 by 720p IPS LCD display, which isn't the greatest on paper, but honestly it performs pretty well. The colors are bright and streaming Netflix or YouTube in HD comes out fine. The viewing angles aren't the best, but it's fine for reading the news and light media consumption. Now one gripe for me was the black border around the display that kind of tricks you into believing the screen is bigger than it is when the display is off. Now to be fair, you get used to it, and X4 isn't the only phone guilty of this, but this is one area for me where you can start to see its budget qualities. The phone has a 13-megapixel rear camera and a 5-megapixel front-facing camera, and the camera quality is just okay. Nothing too terrible, and in good lighting you can actually get some pretty decent shots. The camera app is pretty standard with features like HDR and panorama mode, but the autofocus is on the slower side, and low light shots are not the best. Now the video quality follows a similar chord. In well-lit areas, the video quality is pretty good. It's sharp and you can get some really good shots without a lot of effort. Now in low light situations, however, it's a different story. The video is pretty grainy and the quality drops significantly. Again, nothing exclusive to the X4, as most smartphone cameras will suffer in low light, but definitely something to take note of. Inside the X4, the phone is rocking a quad-core 1.3 GHz MediaTek processor with 2 GB of RAM. Again, the spec sheet here isn't something to write home about, but overall the performance on the phone is pretty good. Navigating around the phone is smooth, and I haven't noticed any significant lag when operating apps or multitasking. Gaming on the X4 was surprisingly okay. Gameplay was responsive and smooth. Some of the more spec-intensive games did cause the phone to heat up a little bit, but nothing to cause the game to freeze up or significantly slow down. The phone is running Android 5.1 Lollipop, and probably my favorite feature on this phone is that it's really close to stock Android. You're not going to find redundant branded apps or annoying functions, and it feels like you're almost using a Nexus device. It comes stock running the Google Now launcher, which I prefer, and the added features that Nuu included on the phone are minor. There's audio profiles in the quick settings, a function called Hot Knot, which is kind of the poor man's NFC, And Nuu also includes smart wake gestures like tap to wake, gesturing certain letters to open different apps and functions, etc. The phone also supports air gestures, but only for the gallery and the radio app. But nothing over the top, nothing you'll probably even notice unless you go digging for it, making it for a nice clean Android experience. Now, one area of the phone that was disappointing was the battery. The X4 comes with a 2250 mAh battery, and considering the phone's dimensions, I would have expected a bigger battery because this phone needs it. Battery performance wasn't the best during my tests, and though I was pushing the phone pretty far in terms of its battery life, I really couldn't get through a whole day without recharging. You could probably scrape by without charging until the end of the day with light to moderate usage, but you'd be best served to have a charger and an external battery with you if you plan on using this phone a lot. Now, this phone isn't for everyone, but if you need a phone that can easily provide you the basic functions of a smartphone, like getting phone calls, text messages, checking email, social media, and taking run-and-gun photos, then this phone at this price is a viable option. Especially if you don't like sacrificing build quality, it's going to be hard to find a phone that looks and feels as good as this one for $169. However, the budget category for smartphones is becoming more robust, and phones like the new Moto G and the Huawei Honor 5X offer more in terms of functionality and are backed by respected brand names. So overall, if you're in the market for a budget phone, do your research and see what's out there, because there's a lot of exciting phones to choose from. Now, if you like this video, leave me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments section what your favorite budget smartphone is for 2016. And if you haven't subscribed already, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all my videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.